Today we're going to show you how to set up a new employee. So you hire somebody, you bring them in the screen and look for employee maintenance, which is 8001. Access, have a list of your employees. Right here, click add, and that opens up the screen to add your new employee. So every employee needs some kind of employee number. That's what they're going to use to log into the system. And let's say this person is a salesperson. If you want to include their phone number, you can do that here. And extension or fax, we're not going to enter those. Over here in the access info, you're going to need to tell it what location this person is going to work at. We're going to say that this person is working at this West Side store. You're going to select a profile for that person. This person's a salesperson, so we are going to look for, there it is, salesperson. Security overrides, we're not going to go into there. That's if you want to give that person additional security to do some things. That won't happen very often if you're already set up correctly for the position. Down here is where you're going to let the system know how often you want to change that person's password. Or actually, when he logs on, he or she will be forced to change their password. It's going to default to randomly, but if you want to do it more often or less often, you can go ahead and plug in what you want to do. I'm going to leave it at random. Over here, even though the person may not be a cashier, you do have to put in the store that he's in. I think we said it was West Side. You're not going to use this if you have your salespeople broken up into different types of salespeople. You might use this. This company had people that did small appliances and travel. You're going to probably stick with just a general salesperson in your operation. Others can be set up. We're not. Some of these are not going to be important for you. Employee number. If you have numbers for your employees that you refer to them in the records, enter that in here. If you have employee badges and they have numbers, enter that here. And right here, you're going to enter the hire date. If the employee, I should say, if the employee has access to produce letters for your company, that's where you would assign what letters they have access to um, print or generate here. We're not going to give them any. If they are a buyer, you would set them up here. So you would add them to the buyer list. And that will allow them to do purchasing functions in your company. Okay, down here, if this is a credit employee, this person is not, but here's where you would tell, say, the person is a quoter or is actually a credit manager. So one of them just can do quotes, one of them is actually has more power in the system. And you would enter their initials right here. So we know how to refer to them on the credit side. And over here is where some companies will have different levels of quoters, based on experience. So you can assign them there. It's going to default to 0, and you can give them limits as to how much they can quote or grant credit over here. slide over here, and the email information, Infinity wants to know what type of email groups they're going to be in, so we can make sure that when pertinent information goes out to a group, they receive it. You click here, you can see the different choices. You can set up your own and have more. This person's going to go into the sales group. And again, this would be if it's a particular type of salesperson in your company, you would enter here. Most of you will not have that, so we're not going to enter anything there. And again, we're not going to use that subgroup. Over in the right here, where it says include an email directory, it's going to default to yes. That means if somebody looks for that person in Infinity's internal email, they'll be able to find them. If you put a no in there, they won't appear in the search. And that's it. If I click OK, that should create my new employee. And let's go look for the person. Password in. Let's look for, there he is, Sam Adams. Click on it, and it brings it all up again. And that's how you create a new salesperson.